Problem 29 moves us on to the point slope form, so that's going to be y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. And these problems, they give us 2 points, so of course they're giving us 2 points because they want us to figure out the slope, and that's where we'll start. We have xy, xy, 1s and 2s. Slope is the change in y over the change in x, which is y sub 2 minus y sub 1, y sub 2 minus y sub 1, divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So I'm going to get 6 over negative 10. I like to have my negative in the numerator, and both of these are divisible by 2. So when I divide both of them by 2, I get 3/5. So my slope is negative 3/5. And then I need to substitute numbers in for x1 and y1, and I will just go ahead and use these because I've already called that x1 and y1. So I'm going to have y minus whatever y1 is, which here is negative 2, times the quantity m, which we just figured out is negative 3/5, times the quantity x minus x1, which here is 5, and then you must simplify on the test. Do not leave it like this. You know that when you subtract a negative, that's really adding. So y plus 2 equals negative 3/5 times the quantity x minus 5. And that's what you're coming up with. Okay, number 30. Starting exact same way, I have m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I have xy, I have xy, 1s and 2s. So I'm going to have negative 1 minus, right, from the formula, negative 5 divided by 4 minus negative 4. That's going to give me 4 over 8, which is 1/2. So m equals 1/2. So I have y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. I have y minus y sub 1 is negative 5 equals m, which we just figured out is 1/2, times the quantity x minus x sub 1 is negative 4. Okay, and then we are going to simplify that, and we get y plus 5 equals 1/2 times the quantity x plus 4. Okay, and continuing the point slope form, now it is going to go through this point but be parallel to this line. So the slope of this line is 2/3. The slope that is parallel to this line is also 2/3. And I'm going to call this x1, y1. So I'm going to have y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. I'm going to have y minus y1 is 2 equals m, we just said that that's going to be 2/3, times the quantity x minus x1. So when I subtract this negative 3, that is going to be really adding 3. Okay, this one is also parallel. So this is the line y equals negative 5. That's in the form y equals b, which is a horizontal line. Therefore, the m is equal to 0. So the m for this is equal to 0. The m that would be parallel is also equal to 0. So if I'm writing a line that is parallel to y equals negative 5, why did I do that? No. It is, by the way, 5:15 and I'm still here at work making these videos for you, so forgive me. Let's try again. Y equals negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. a horizontal line at y equals -5. I know that my line that's going to be parallel to this is also going to be a horizontal line. And it's going to be a horizontal line that goes through 2, -4. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The other line is going to be horizontal through this point. And if I was using graph paper and I had a ruler and all of that, these would be beautiful, never touching horizontal parallel lines. Okay, but if I just wrote another horizontal line that's also going to be in the form of y equals b, well, what is b equal in this problem? It's -4. Okay? Okay, now I'm still writing in the point slope form. This time I'm doing some perpendicular slopes. So the slope in this problem, in this line, is 1/3. The slope that would be perpendicular is going to be the opposite. This is positive, so it's going to be negative. And the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. So here is my slope. Here is x1, y1. So I have y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So I'm going to have y minus 5 equals m, which we just said is -3, times the quantity x minus -1. When we subtract a negative, we are really adding. Last one. The slope in this problem is -1, right? There's a -1 coefficient. When it says the opposite of x, there is a -1 there. So m is equal to -1. Since I'm going to have to write the reciprocal, if you want to, you can put it over 1. So then the perpendicular slope, they must be opposites. This is negative, so this is going to need to be positive. And the reciprocal of 1 over 1 is just 1 over 1. So the slope that is perpendicular is just a positive 1. And then I have my x1, y1. So when I say y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, I'm saying y minus positive 1 equals the m, which is 1, times x minus x sub 1 is -1. So y minus 1 equals 1 times x plus 1. Okay, this is simplified. You could also drop this 1. And since this is a positive 1, you actually could even drop the parentheses. And that is the equation we're coming up with.